tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. One more share. I'm going to share one more share. Hello. Good morning. Checking a couple more things. There we are. Morning, Ann. It's good to see you. Oh, gotta let a couple people know. Ooh. All right, here we go. We're ready. We're ready. It's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Oh, you're anxious to hear what I have to say. Okay, good. Last 24 hours have been, whew. The website got up, had our meeting yesterday. Amber will be right back. Now I have a lot of work to do. Right? And this is where the busy work is. But actually, right now I'm reaching out. But if anybody knows anybody, I reach out to my pastor too, see if anybody has a grant, pay me for putting together these resources. So if you know something, let me know. But yeah, part of what I'm doing is making sure I get paid now. It's actually going to be the hard part out of all this. It's going to be the hardest part. Morally, welcome to Daily Trudge Leisure on Instagram. It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I don't know that you're there anymore or not. I don't know if Instagram is I don't know. Never mind. I'm not awake yet. If you're here, please say hello. And we're going to read out of the 12 by 12. So if you have the 12 by 12, I'm going to be doing some skipping around. I don't know where. I don't know how yet, but I'll let you know. When I do these things, it's kind of weird. I think the best way to put it is go with the flow. There's just I get a sense of what I'm supposed to do next and things like that. So let's get started. We got 4 or 5 people here. Let's go ahead and do this. Step 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. Now in step 6, which Ingrid Kindle, hi, I'm surprised to let you post with the Kindle. Yeah, when you know you not only know your people, but their devices, you may have been doing this for just a little bit. 5 years now. All right. Since this step is so specially concerns itself with humility, we should pause here to consider what humility is and what the practice of it can mean to us. So the principle behind step 7 is humility. The principle behind step 6 is willingness. Okay. So We're going step 6. We use a lot of willingness, and you're going to have to exert. Remember that step 6 separates the men from the boys. Okay, because we're going towards something, and it's going to feel confusing because there's just going to be this word that keeps popping up, and this word is going to be perfection. Okay, but I'm not perfect. We know, but we're going to strive for perfection. We're going to strive. That's crazy, Dion. Yeah, I know I'm crazy, but the concept is not crazy. If God, if my higher power is perfection, then what am I going towards? Why would I combine my will with my higher powers if I'm not trying to seek what they have? Just like I would with a sponsor. Indeed, the attainment of greater humility is the foundation principle of each of AA's 12 steps. For without some degree of humility, no alcoholic can stay sober at all. Nearly all AAs have found, too, that unless they develop much more of this precious quality that may be required just for sobriety, they still haven't had much of a chance of becoming truly happy. Without it, they cannot live much of a useful purpose or in adversity be able to summon the faith that can meet any emergency. Okay? This humility is going to provide you with several different things. It's number one, it's going to provide you with something called brotherly love, a sense of community, of being wanted and needed and loved, but not for you, but being the one that provides it. In this, we're going to understand that we have some character defects. Okay, anger and fear, and I don't consider fear being a character defect. I don't, but a lot of people do. So I'm going to throw it in there for an example. Okay, my anger is not gone. Okay. Do I get angry? Yes, I do. I get angry. I no longer react to that anger. See, humility is about taking 2 extra seconds. Ooh, just take 2 extra seconds. What was 90% of the program? Keeping your damn mouth shut. What is that? That's humility. That's knowing the time and place in which to speak, the right arenas. God, can you please give me the right words? Okay. I ask for that even before I come on here, before I chair a meeting, before I speak at a meeting, before I went to Adams County, or before my meeting with Adams County. I sat here and prayed to God for the right words or actions. I think I went off a little too much. I think I kind of scared them. I'm very passionate about this, and I told them we've had enough of this, and we're taking it back, and you can either be a part. It worked. All right. Humility, I don't want to get into that. All right. So I'm now going to skip to the bottom of page 71. True, most of us thought good character was desirable. But obviously, good character was something one needed to get on with the business of being self-satisfied. Oh, I've done some character building and I feel satisfied with myself. That's a little too ego-y. Hey? A little too, and you can feel it in your stomach, can't you? And it's like, oh, that just doesn't sit well. Okay. If you hear something, this happens to me all the time. I hear something, I don't quite understand it, so I gotta listen or read it again. But I do it again because if for some reason it just didn't sit right in my stomach. With a proper display of honesty and morality, we'd stand a better chance of getting what we really wanted. Do you know what it is that you want? That's what my therapist. I'm not getting what I want. This is what my therapist would say. What do you want? Then she would follow it up with, do you really want it? See, she knows me well enough. I'm going to go through these things. And if she knows that I know that I don't want it, she knows that I'm going to start talking and admit the fact that, no, I don't really want it. Yeah. She's really good at keeping me in those lines. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. God will take care of our ego if we seek him. Absolutely. Yeah. You can't have ego with God in your life. See, we use ego as edging God out, but see, God's more powerful than ego. And all it takes is see, the thing is God won't step in. You gotta ask. That's the key. You have to ask for help. What is humility? Asking God for help. It's humility. And then going with whatever he says and being okay with that. But whenever we had to choose between character and comfort, character building was lost in the dust of our chase of what we thought was happiness. Seldom did we look at character building as something desirable in itself, something we would like to strive for, whether our instinctual needs were met or not. We never thought of making honesty, tolerance, and true love of man and God the daily basis of living. Don't we need to find ourselves a new set of morals and a new set of codes? Did you know you have them? You have them. So, while we're going through our character defects, not all are defects, you have characteristics. During your fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh step, you're going to find out a lot about yourself. Okay. And if you focus everything on how you did everything bad, that's what you're going to get. So you need to sit down and take a look at some of your beneficial emotions, like humility. Humility starts out as an emotion, usually fear. Why am I praying before I do something like this? Because I have a healthy fear that I will pass on bad information while doing this. I have a healthy fear of that. Okay? But it's a good thing, isn't it? It's the same fear that stops me from running into moving traffic. Right? And that's a healthy fear. It's when we take that fear to an excess. Okay? What would excess and prayer look like? God, please take care of me, and then we don't do anything. We just sit at home. We don't try to provide. We don't try to include anything in the world. God, please keep me safe, and we go jumping out of airplanes. Okay. I'm not saying don't jump out of airplanes. I'm just saying, wear a parachute. Okay. I'm now going to page 74, the middle of page 74. But when we have taken a square look at some of these defects, have discussed them with another person, and have become willing to have them removed, our thinking about humility becomes to have a wider meaning. So humility is also indispensable, okay? Just like willingness, honesty, open-mindedness. Okay, this is also indispensable. By this time, in all probability, we have gained some measure of release from our more devastating handicaps. We enjoy moments in which there is something like real peace of mind. To those of us who are to known only excitement, depression, or anxiety, in other words, to all of us, this newfound peace is a priceless gift. Something new indeed has been added, where humility had formerly stood for force feeding on humble pie. It now begins to mean the nourishing ingredient which can give us serenity, peace of mind. It is this step when you'll be able to sit on the back porch and just watch life go by. And it's okay. You're taking time to just watch life go by. Okay? Serenity is where we do not react to life. We act with life. We go with the flow. Okay? The improved perception of our humility starts another revolutionary change in our outlook. Our big eyes begin to open to the immense value from which have come straight out of our painful ego puncturing. Until now, our lives have been largely devoted to running from pain and problems. We fled from them as from a plague. We never wanted to deal with the fact of suffering. Escape via the bottle was always our solution. Character building through suffering might be all right for the saints, but it certainly didn't appeal to us. Yeah, let's not do character building through suffering. That's being a martyr, and we can't be martyrs anymore. Okay, I'm going to continue on with this one. Then in AA, we looked and listened. Everywhere we saw failure and misery transformed by humility into priceless assets. What are you becoming? A priceless asset. You're an asset to your family, to your AA group, to your community. Everywhere you go, even when you go get gas, guess what you are? Right? And we need to act that way. That's courage. God has given you a gift. Show it off. Show it off. That one you can show off. Okay? The one you can't show off is when you do something good for somebody else. Don't be putting that on Facebook. We don't care. Okay? I don't do that. What would I do? Go back in after this, say, oh, you guys missed a great daily trudge. I helped so many people. You think I would last long around you guys? No. I'd get a whole different crowd. No. Okay. This is going to be a couple more minutes. I'm just going to let you know, but step 7 is really important. So I still got a full page to go here. I'm just letting you know because Tuesday you might be on lunch or whatever, and I want to respect your time because our biggest commodity is time. Not commodity, our biggest. Never mind. As we approach the actual taking of step 7, it might be well if we AAs inquire once more just what our deeper objectives are. Each of us would like to live at peace with himself and with his fellows. We would like to be assured that the grace of God can do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. We have seen that character defects based upon short-sighted or unworthy desires are the obstacles that block our path towards those objectives. We now clearly see that we have been making unreasonable demands upon ourselves, upon others, and upon God. What does that sound like? Emotional sobriety. Emotional sobriety. That's exactly what it is. In fact, that line right there, it's a little different, but it's in there. When I work with my sponsees, usually, what I do is I stop and I go to language of the heart and we cover emotional sobriety in a sitting. And we talk about it. With men, you really got to do this so we understand. See, in order for me to get to that point of serenity, I need to cut off my faulty demands upon other people. If I don't do that, none of this will work. Okay? Now, you may do some of this stuff and still not feel the feeling. Maybe there's something standing in your way. There was something standing in my way. It was extremely fucking frustrating. It was my PTSD. People would say, "Oh, that's a fucking resentment." I'm like, "No, it's not. I know what a resentment feels like. This is not a resentment. Please, please, just accept the fact that people may be telling you the truth when it comes to mental illness. I know it may sound weird, but it's true. The chief activator of all our defects has been self-centered fear. If you work on fear, you're going to cover almost everything else. Work on fear. Work on fear. I walk through fear every day. Got it. I got it. I do this. You get, I have to admit it's a lot easier now that I've done it a lot, but it still doesn't make it easy. I still got to come up with an idea. Where's it going to be at? Okay, there's a process to it that happens. I don't just pick up the book, hit a couple buttons, and we're ready to go. No, I have to tell people, I have to share, I have to do all this other stuff. Or, but I have to put in that work. Okay, what is that work? What is that work signifying? That work is signifying me walking through fear. How did I get that? Trust in God. Damn it, you got it before me. I love it. I love it. Okay. Primarily fear that we would lose something we already possessed or would fail to get something we demanded. Living upon a basis of unsatisfied demands, we were in a state of continual disturbance and frustration. Therefore, no peace was to be had unless we could find a means of reducing these demands. The difference between a demand and a simple request is plain to anyone. Last paragraph. The seventh step is where we make the change in our attitude, which permits us, with humility as our guide, to move out from ourselves towards others and toward God. There it is. The toward God in that perfection. You have a good afternoon too. And thanks for coming in and participating. The whole emphasis of step 7 is on humility. It is really saying to us that we ought to be willing to try humility in seeking the removal of our other shortcomings, just as we did when we admitted that we were powerless over alcohol and had come to believe in a power greater than ourselves could restore sanity. One other sentence. If that degree of humility could enable us to find the grace by which such a deadly obsession could be banished, then there must be hope of the same result respecting any other problem we could possibly have. And that is step 7. A little more than just one paragraph from the book. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great day. I love you. Peace out. And have a